Nice sugar hearts. There, this off already. Hey, honeys. Good morning. It is 7:30 on the morning of July 24th. And I'm drinking my coffee. When I turned my phone on, I saw what time it was when I woke up. When I woke up, it was 7:20. For those of you who know me, you already know what's coming today. This has kind of been an every year thing, except I've never done a video about it before. I won't go into a lot of details on why I've been having a bad day for the last few years. But this is the day, this is the worst day of the year. This is the day that is so bad that I don't even really come out and get specific. I just call it the bad thing. The time that I woke up, coincides with what happened 15 years ago today. And I know that sounds like a long time, 15 years ago. It does not seem like it could possibly be that long. My dream came true when I was 23, and I found out I was gonna have a baby. And she was a little girl. And I've been wanting her my whole entire life. And she was born around the midnight hour, around 1 o'clock in the morning on the 24th. And I was still asleep from the emergency C-section they had to do. And the doctor told my family there was only a 50-50 chance that I would even ever wake up. They weren't sure if I would make it or not. I almost didn't. Apparently there was a lot of blood loss, and you need blood. You need a certain amount of blood in your body for everything to make you stay alive. It was not something I really prepared myself for, even though I kind of felt like I knew something was going to be wrong. Anyway, at 7:21 in the morning, I did wake up. I woke up, and the doctor was running into the hospital room, yelling, "We're losing the baby, we're losing the baby, we're losing the baby." And that was practically the first thing that I remember when I woke up, is that's what happened. I woke up and she drifted away. They brought her to me. And I know I held her for a long time, probably. But I feel like it wasn't enough. It's been 15 years and I want to hold her right now. Her name's Anne Marie. She would be 15 today. Should be 15 today. And also, people who know me are probably sick of hearing this every year. A lot of people are like, "Wow, it's been a while. You should really just be okay." And I'm like, you know what? If I was okay with this happening, then I wouldn't be okay. There would be something wrong with me. this didn't affect me, at least certain times of year, like the day that I should be planning some kind of horribly expensive party with ridiculous music and boys I don't even like. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not necessarily alone, although I feel alone right now because there's nobody around me. I've moved to a new place. I don't know anybody. I've met a few people, and I literally tried to make plans for today and tonight so I would not be by myself. Hasn't worked out so far, but I didn't know I was going to wake up at 7:20 in the morning. I don't know why that surprised me. That's kind of a thing that's been happening too every year. Very strange. It's the first time I've ever actually been totally alone on this day. But anyway, she's my little butterfly. I love butterflies. I love them so much because they do remind me of her. At her funeral, which was the 25th, which is tomorrow, is also my papa's birthday, and we lost him a few years ago. So it's a weird time for me for a whole totally separate reason too. But I know when the doctors yelled they were losing the baby, that every single person in the room ran out the door to see her, except for Papa. And he was standing by my bedside holding my hand. And they asked him if he was going to come see the baby, and he said, "I'm not leaving this baby girl by herself. I'm not doing it." But they brought her to me. At first I said I didn't want to see her, but then I knew I had to. And they brought her to me. And I kept dozing off while I was holding her, apparently. And so my family was taking turns holding her, passing her around the room a little bit. And then whenever I would start to wake up, they would give her back to me real quick. Just want to hold her again, you know? And that wasn't even the beginning of my issue with depression. Today I am depressed, but I have a reason to be. If I was okay today, there would be something wrong with me. I know that. But I have had a really, really, especially hard time with this particular loss. And I don't deal with loss well at all, not well at all. This is a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of other things that happened to me that I won't go into, but long story short, one of the reasons I started YouTube, at least try to do it as some type of career in the future. It might be a year or two before I ever see a cent from it, but it was a goal anyway. I need to be able to work from home because I have I suffer from anxiety and depression, the disorder, not actual just being really sad like I am today. And there is a difference. The depression is crippling, and it's not for any particular reason. Or the things that you are depressed about, it does seem like the teetotal end of the world. But nothing will ever, ever, ever be okay again. But it will. It will. I know there are people out there that feel like I do. I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm the only one this has happened to. I know I'm not, but anyway, she deserved to be recognized as a living human. She was real. She's mine. That's kind of my job as her mom. I've heard the saying that no one really dies until people quit saying their name. So Anne Marie, she's so loved. very loved little baby. I'm sorry. I thought I'd cried enough that I wouldn't cry during this video. Anyway, that kind of leads into something else. Why I've started YouTube, why I've started making and selling skincare products and certain makeup items. It's because I have something called hypersomnia. And hypersomnia, I might include a link below with a lot more information, and it doesn't affect everyone the same way, but with me, it's affected my circadian rhythm to the point where I don't run on a 24-hour clock. I run on like a 36 to 40-hour clock, so I might be awake for 18 or 20 hours, but then I'll turn around and sleep for 25 hours. And it's almost like I'm always afraid to go to sleep because I don't ever know when I'm going to wake up. I slept for 35 hours last year at my mom's. So I can work hard. I'm capable. I have a couple of other, health issues, and there's one more in particular that I want to talk about. I know I'm not alone, but I'm like literally alone. So anyway, that's one reason. I mentioned him in every video. That's one reason Shane Dawson was so special to me. That was when I first started watching his videos. I don't know how I found it. Nobody told me about it. I just stumbled across something on YouTube, and I didn't know he was the queen of the internet. I had no idea. I didn't even have an account to speak of. I didn't have a way to actually like videos or comment. If I tried to, I would have to open an account. And so I finally did. But he's been open about his issues. There are a lot of things that trigger him, and that he's had an eating disorder before, and he suffers from depression, and I suffer from depression, and we're not really, I don't think, the greatest when it comes to dealing with loss, and we tend to be a little emotional, a little sensitive, and we kind of try to cover up our sadness with humor. I don't know if anybody's noticed that about me. I'm not saying it's actually funny. I'm just saying, to me, that attempt is made. It's a coping mechanism. It really, really, really is. If somebody else would do it for me, I would even appreciate that more. That's exhausting. But there's been a lot of people in my life, even family members, who think I should just be over this by now. And I don't think that's possible. There's not a way to be okay with it. It's not okay. She was a little bitty tiny baby. That is not okay. So yes, the hypersomnia affects me in the sense that I have dream life is more normal than my real life. So I'll get stuck in a dream, and I've had night terrors before where you're stuck and you can't get out, and it's horrible. But it's almost like now that's how it is when I wake up. My dreams are kind of normal, and then I wake up, and that's when reality hits me, that all these certain things that didn't exist in my dream really happened to me in real life. And I look around and I get my grip on reality again, and it's like switching gears big time. It's strange. It's hard to explain. People don't understand it, but it is like every time I wake up, it's like I have to remember what everything is all over again, and I just kind of relive it almost every day when I wake up. A lot of things that I dream that the terrible things that have happened to me were dreams. And it is very strange. In my dreams, I have a job, and I pay my bills, and I watch TV, I have friends, and I go places and do things. It's very normal. so, I mean, it's strangely normal to where it's hard to even keep it straight because it's not a dreamlike thing. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I don't know if that's happened to not really anybody I've talked to, nobody, but I'm sure that's happened to people. I'd love to know the hell that's about. It makes it very hard to wake up or to even know that that's what I'm doing. I don't know that I'm not waking up. It's not intentional at all. It's not like, oh, give me 5 more minutes. I'm still not awake yet. It's just, I'm really not. And it takes a while for me to wake up. And the third thing I wanted to talk about, if we're counting, I don't know if that's right, is something called interstitial cystitis. At one time it was called painful bladder disorder, which is much more self-explanatory than interstitial cystitis, which sounds like horrible cancer or something. It's like one medication that I don't even know if it's FDA approved, but there's one medication that tends to help, makes hair fall out. It's very expensive, can't afford that anyway. I try to control it with my diet. I'm supposed to avoid acidic foods, tomato-based products, caffeine, chocolate, pretty much everything I actually eat and drink while I'm sipping my coffee. Anyway, this video is longer than I thought. I'm going to edit this down a lot. I know this is like some kind of random sad video. Today's the day that this is what you get from me today. It's all I can. It hit me even harder when I woke up and saw what time it was. I couldn't believe it. Although that's not an uncommon thing for me to do. I've woken up at this time 3 or 4 other times that I know of for sure. And that was probably the other times I probably just had to wake up earlier with an alarm clock, which I can't do now. So I cannot work a regular job. I can get any job out there that I want to. I'm not having trouble getting jobs. It's just at some point I'm going to either be home because of one of the health issues that I have, or I'm going to be at the doctor's office getting treatment for one of the issues that I have. But either way, I'm not going to be there, which makes it hard to keep a job. Understandably, they need you to be present in order to pay you for things. And but when you can't be, you can't be. And I'll try to include some information for both hypersomnia, for depression, for anxiety, and also for interstitial cystitis. And there's one more thing I want to mention, and I don't want anyone to worry about me. This is not something that I'm struggling with right now. I have in my life in the past, which is one reason why I know it can affect anybody, literally for any reason or no reason at all. And I just want, even if there's one person watching this that's feeling alone right now, honey, you are not. I know it feels like it. Reach out to me, reach out to somebody, because nobody with a good heart would want anyone else to hurt. And sometimes it's just the loneliness that hurts. Feeling like you're the only one who hurts like that. And I know I'm not. I know I'm not. And this is, the day that I kind of allow myself to do this, because it has been so long and people don't understand. I have her box. And this is the one time of year that I go through it. I have one box. I have a dress, a bonnet, footprints, and a picture. The teddy bear that we were wanting to put in the casket with her, except they'd already sealed it by the time my mom and my brother picked it out and found it. So I've kept it all this time, and there's a few other things in there. I totally lost my train of thought. You ever forget what you're talking about while you're talking, even though it's something you just think about all the time? Anyway, I'm having a bad day. It's not a normal video from me, and hopefully you won't get too many like this. This is my video for today. I'm sorry, it's really boring. But yep, this is the one day a year that I go through a box. I normally write her a letter. I'm sure I'll do that. I'll get around to that today. And the letters I write, I keep in that box. So, anyway, when you're already suffering, I think, from depression and things like this happen, I don't know if you take them harder than you normally would, or if it's just a completely separate thing. My depression is justified right now, and depression is a disorder completely, and I have it big time. I mean, I'm not even getting to sit here and say I don't suffer from mental illness, because clearly I do. But it's not. Sometimes it is crippling, but not in the same way. Today I have a reason to be sad. There's a difference between depression and extreme sadness. And I just wanted to let anybody out there who has suffered a loss like this, and it doesn't have to be, your daughter, it can be anyone. Don't let anyone tell you how to mourn, tell you how you should feel. It's not their loss. It may have been a loss to them, but it is not the same. And I feel like, almost as Anne Marie's mother, it's my responsibility to keep her alive by continuing to talk about her and continuing to call her by name, because that's what is going to keep her alive. And who's going to do that if I don't, If you're suffering from depression or anxiety or an extreme loss or extreme sadness, don't get any crazy ideas, okay? I've lost too many people I know because they took their own life. And I want to also include some information for the suicide hotline. I know this seems kind of sudden and dramatic and random, but I know there are people watching this. Somebody at some point is going to watch this, and maybe they'll need that information. So I am going to provide it. I almost want to provide it just below every video, so it's there just in case. And I don't lose anybody. I mean, even people I don't know. I mean, taking their own life, that's so sad. They've been there, because I'm not really sure that anybody, especially by the time they're my age, can honestly say they've never considered it before. I don't believe that anybody has just never considered it. I'm okay. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I don't want anybody to think that this is not like a goodbye video or anything like that. You're not alone. I'll talk to you. Call the suicide hotline, call your doctor, call someone in your family, your best friend. Everyone's here for a reason. Even if it's just to make other people smile sometimes. So, you're not worthless. Your life has meaning. You should stay alive for people. Yep, for other people. Not even just for yourself. Just stay alive for the other people that you would hurt. I think it's a good enough reason not to kick it, don't you? Anyway, I'm not sure if I'll even upload this. This is gonna be a long, sucky ass day. Alright, well, here we go then. Sorry for the rambling and the boring ass conversation, but I'll let you go to the next video, okay? Love you.